I'm Rodney Thomas, graduate student from Georgia Southern University. Today I'll be interviewing Ms. Debbie Bailey, the media specialist and my site supervisor here at St. Mary's Elementary School. So the first question, Ms. Bailey, what type of degree is required for your position?
I have a master's degree. I obtained a master's degree in instructional technology, and then I went back to school and added the media credits to become a media specialist. So, in order to be a media specialist, you must have a master's degree.
Okay, so next question, what are your job responsibilities?
My job responsibilities are multifaceted. I do everything from take care of the library in regards to its collection, ordering books, researching, making sure that I get things that are going to assist the teachers with their curriculum and with all the standards. Um, I do reach out for the community with stakeholders to make sure that they're welcome into the building and set up things when they do come in, like reading to the students, stuff like that. Watch over the staff that runs the library to make sure everything is taken care of in that respect. Technology, a lot of technology. We have a county person that takes care of ordering all the equipment that we need. But then when it's deployed to the building level, it's my responsibility to make sure that it gets put in the proper classrooms, make sure the teachers are trained on it, that they can actually utilize it, make sure the children can utilize what they need. We have over 600 Chromebooks in the building that have to be taken care of.
Ah,
That starts with me um, and library staff. If I can't remedy any of the situations, then I push it through and a tech comes from the county to take care of it. But if I see that we need more equipment, then I put in a request for specific things, printers or any type of devices that may be good assistive devices for the SPED students. I make suggestions along those lines. So it's pretty much everything.
yes, it is.
Everything from the keeper of the books to just taking care of any of the needs the children or teachers have, whether it be curriculum, technology, personal.
Hey, we still appreciate that. So the next question, during the pandemic, how did you meet the needs of the faculty and staff during the transition to remote learning?
Well, that was a major undertaking. We had to get all of those Chromebooks that normally live in our building into the children's homes and make sure that they connected on the children's Wi-Fi at home. So I spent a lot of time assisting parents or grandparents over the phone, making sure that those devices, first of all, that they worked when they got them home, um, help them to log into the various software programs that they needed to get their work done, assisted the teachers with all of the Google Meets and setting up their Google Classrooms so that the children could access all of those um, lessons that they were putting up and posting. So it was a lot of behind the scenes, but there was a lot of face-to-face stakeholder stuff that I did via Zoom or Google Meets or Teams, however we could get it to work.
Right.
Sometimes it was just on the phone, helping parents to just troubleshoot to get their students up and running and keeping those things going. And along with that was also monitoring where the students were going. We have a system in place where we can keep track of what the children do when they're logged into their school account. So I kept track of that hourly
Wow.
and um, send parents emails if I saw that the children were doing something that they weren't supposed to be on, so that we could get that under control. So they understood that this was really a learning environment. It was taking place in their home, but it was a learning opportunity for their children.
Well, you sure made it look easy. Question, how did you meet the remote learning needs of the students and the parents then?
Well, same kind of thing. I was available all the time. I was at home, of course, like everybody else, but I was available. I had everything set up where the parents could contact me, teachers could contact me. Normally, the children did not contact me, they contacted me through their teacher. So if they needed something, they went through the teacher. Parents were contacting me personally if they needed assistance to get things going.
Okay.
A constant support.
Yes, ma'am.
And that even continued after school became a thing again when we were able to come back in session, because we had still had probably around 50 students whose parents didn't want them to come back to school.
Right.
So I continued to support them at home even while the other children were in school. So we were doing both at that time. We were running a hybrid so that parents could keep their children home if they wished to.
Yes.
We lost, yeah, we lost a lot of devices over that course of those couple of years,
Right.
but it was well worth it to try and keep the children, you know, trying to keep them educated.
Yes, ma'am. So, in the daily, what are typically a daily activity for you for your job?
Daily activities. My day starts usually very early. I'm usually here by 7:15, 7:30. I get the library open and set up so that we can start the day as soon as the children start coming in. I walk around the building. I try every morning to touch base with every teacher in the building. I have a little track through the school that I walk
Yes.
and make face-to-face contact with everyone to see if there are anything that, if there's anything they need right away. We do have a system set up where they can put in technology needs so that we get an email and then we can, organize my day to fix things in that respect. But first thing in the morning, I do that. And then it's helping the children and the teachers as they come through the library with whatever needs they may have. Setting up lessons, we read to the children. The stories that we read, we try very hard to um, read all the teachers' lesson plans and kind of align it with any standards that they're working on. So
Right.
we either preview some standards or we are reteaching stuff the teachers have already taught just to support. So, and then it's everything. Whatever walks through the door, we have to take care of.
Yeah.
Technology, book related, curriculum related.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
it's a busy day.
So you mentioned earlier that you had a budget. So how do you make decisions on selecting resources for your stakeholders?
We make sure that the books that we provide to our students are books, first of all, that the children are going to be interested in reading.
Right.
We run accelerated reader in our building, so we try hard to make sure that those books do have an accelerated reader test, because if they don't, we find that those books do not leave our shelves. So we research that to make sure that they have a test or they will be getting one. We make sure that they're grade level appropriate for the students.
Yes.
We want to make sure that they're getting the appropriate, level of books. And we want to make sure that they're supporting the curriculum needs, not just the desires of the students, but that they do touch those curriculum needs and the standards needs that the teachers need them to.
Okay. So next question. Have you had an opportunity to impact technology implementation through your school? And how would you describe that? Give me an example.
Yes, we've deployed this year. Actually, we deployed a whole new generation of Chromebooks and laptops.
Hmm.
So that has been very taxing, just making sure that all the updates are there and make sure that things can be connected properly. Some of our laptops now have different docking stations, so that was a new lesson for teachers as to try and get everything set up properly. We've implemented new document cameras this year, and we had an issue with the app that runs those.
Hmm.
So I had to find a way around the app so that we could continue to have docking stations set up for the teachers on their view boards. That was very interesting, but we managed to get it to work. So everything is working without the app, but there's always problems. And as a media specialist and in technology in general, you have to be a good problem solver. You have to uh, research via Google or your friends. You get out on, anywhere that you can, any kind of media support groups that you can get into is very important, because if you have a problem, someone else has either already had that problem or they're going through the same thing you are. So the technology sometimes can be very difficult because change is difficult to people. Not just with the students, but with the teachers. Change is hard. And when you take out a device and you put in a new device, you need to make sure that support is there so that they don't feel that they have something foreign in their room. You need to make it as seamless as possible. And that's what we've done this year with the new Chromebooks and the new laptops that have come in, the new documents cameras. It's all a learning process. So it's our job to make sure that the teachers feel comfortable with those things, because if they're not, learning doesn't take place.
Thank you for that. Now, you mentioned that you had a support group you can turn to. Does your school have a technology committee?
No, we do not have a technology committee. The technology coordinator at the building at the county level, he has a staff, and they determine the types of things that we need in our building, along with, I guess, principal input at the principals meetings. And then when they bring that to us, then it's the media specialist along with the technician that's assigned to our building. We make sure that everything gets implemented in the building properly.
So I guess
But if
that,
but if I have suggestions, if there's something that I would like to see brought into the buildings, I can always bring that to the coordinator. Last year requested some large microscopes that would plug into the computer for the teachers to use on their view boards. And this was new technology that we hadn't had in our county, and those were purchased and delivered to us. So if we have suggestions, we can always suggest. So if a teacher has something that they would like to have, they could bring it to me, and then I could then bring it to the coordinator. They've put maker bots in our buildings, and those are some things also that we're working on this year to get up and running. But they're very open to new technology and assistive devices for the children. So if we have something that we see or that we have heard about and we want to try it, they're very open to that.
okay, that led into my next question. So how are decisions made? I think you pretty much answered that.
Yes.
So what is the best part of your job?
The best part of my job is helping others. I truly enjoy working with the students as well as the teachers, and helping them in any way I can to help them to gain the knowledge they need to be successful in what they're doing. Nothing is a secret. If I know it and I know how to do something, I really want to share that with others so that they can be empowered to help themselves and to go out and help others. So that's what I love the most, is helping people and being involved with as many people as possible.
Thank you. I have one last question. What do you find to be the most challenging part of your job?
There's not enough time in the day. There's never enough time to implement everything you want. So you have to be really good at prioritizing
Right.
and and multitasking. I multitask very well, I believe, and that's something that you really have to be able to do. And yeah, when I first started, I always, as a teacher, I was a teacher before I became a media specialist, and I always like to have my desk cleaned at the end of the day.
Hmm.
I like to make sure everything is done and everything. But as a media specialist, you learn to stack neatly on your desk because
Right.
you don't ever get everything done. So you learn to have neat little piles, because things flow from one day to the next, because there's so many things that you have to do, and your day is not your day. Um, and what I mean by that is your day belongs to everyone else. So you have to take care of all of those problems that come in the door at the last minute before you can actually get to the tasks at hand that you've put down for yourself for that day. So sometimes my tasks roll into the next day or into the evening, but it's all good.
Thank you. And I see you around the building, Miss Bailey. You're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, that concludes our interview, and thank you very much, Miss Bailey.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.